They used to, I've gone to auditions and I've had agents say to me, I will never send you on an audition again as long as I live. Because you've totally compromised my professional reputation. And I have no idea what I did that was so outstandingly different.
But you probably had what Daniel was talking about, a take on what that part was, and maybe it wasn't everybody else's.
That might be a good conclusion. I literally had an assistant to the agent say to me, "Honey, what happened?" And I said, "What?" And they said you acted kind of mental. You know, in the beginning I couldn't study very well. I didn't understand, just as I didn't understand how to audition. And when I would study, if I'd go to class with various, you know, people that I'd go to class, I'd sign up and go to class, and whenever I'd get up and perform, I'd see after when I'd finish, I'd try to incorporate what I'd been learning in class, you know. And I'd finish doing a scene or something, and the audience, the kids would be looking at me like I was just really wacky. Like, what was I doing? What was I thinking? And the teacher would be sort of dumbfounded too. And so then I stopped. So I clearly could not develop technique at that point. You know, I just had to go intuitively. And so then if I do it, they'd be so obviously so unimpressed in the right way that I'd come back the next time and just sort of do it by the skin of my teeth, you know. And then it would seem to be more acceptable or more understandable. And then gradually, of course, in doing it, literally doing, acting, as you say, there's nothing, that's what you have to do, just like you say, like Max says, actors working on a scene, and the more you do, the better you are, the more you do, it's just like becoming skillful at your craft. Frankly, I love the audience. I think it's a big element to expressing anything you're going to express on stage, is you really have an absolute, genuine, complete forgiveness and acceptance and love of the audience. I had a student wrote me a note one night. She said, I've been stewing over a note my acting teacher gave me, which is, if you can't love the audience, why bother? And she said, I'm leaving tonight. I've never felt so loved. But it's, but that play is also, The Search is also an affirmation of the audience, you know, an absolute.
You also have an obligation to the audience.
Yeah, well, and what the audience is an absolute, at the top of The Search, I always say, I was so afraid you wouldn't show up. And without you, there'd be little point in me being here. That's